Group number 2 is what's changing for my group number 2. Pile number 2, yesterday you weren't drinking enough water. You're realizing why today you have a headache from it. It's like your past energy, past things that you've done, you're realizing you're putting the connection together and you're figuring something out here. First of all, she's looking in the mirror. You're looking. What's changing for pile number 1? Pile number. Look, any places, you know, at like they started bodybuilding at like 50 and they're like in the best shape of their lives. Like it's possible that it's just for pile number 1 is Holy Spirit. Ryan, time to act. It's like you're no longer at. And I'm not getting something negative here. I'm getting that like you're not gonna gatekeep what you do. Okay? You know what gate. Into this beautiful rose. I don't think this is a rose, but I'm hearing into a beautiful rose, and it's like your life is your life now because you switched now. It's like you took the lead in your own life here. Very, very strong. Bother you. Activate appreciation, gratitude. You get more. So it's like you just keep getting and getting and getting. You get pile number 3. What's changing for them?
Today's topic is regarding the next major breakthrough we're in is not ideal, it's very uncomfortable. So you'll allow people to fulfilling. It feels like an energy of being draining you and feeding off of your energy and giving you.
Is being prophetic right now, so definitely pay attention if there's any sort of animals that pop up in your dreams as well right now. You guys may even have a pet around you.
Welcome and welcome back to another Divine Feminine Alchemy Mind, Body, Soul vlog. Hey loves, I just got finished with my walk and it is definitely fall outside now. I think it's about, it's 50 degrees right now. There are a lot of people out taking like fall pictures and stuff like that. It's really nice. Anywho, I am done with my walk. It was really nice. The air is like really crisp and cool, pretty breezy outside. All the fall colors, it is just so nice. Like the trees look like they're like lit up on fire. All the reds and oranges and yellows, and it's so pretty. This is my favorite time of year. I feel like walking, I can only speak for myself. I feel like I'm not much of a runner, but I enjoy walking. I don't like running at all, but like really fast-paced walking, power walking, that's more my speed, and I feel like I get better results with that. It snatches the waistline, in my opinion, and really just kind of like gets my whole body moving and gets my blood flowing, so without putting like any pressure on my joints. So but yeah, and especially like I feel like during this phase of life, where like midlife, where you may be entering like perimenopause, or maybe you're into menopause, walking I feel like is just excellent, because you know, like that fat around the midsection can tend to be pretty stubborn during this time, so I feel like walking is like really great for that. I'm being nosy, I'm looking at people and take pictures. Yeah, so okay, anyway, I have some errands to run. I need to go to Whole Foods and return some things from Amazon. I purchased some things from Amazon and they weren't quite right, so I gotta go return them. So let's go. Put on there. Ooh, it's pretty empty in here. Look how cute. Yes. You know what? Where's the all-purpose spray? Like the method cleaner and like countertop sprays. Oh, you know what? I think I see it. I think I see it. It's right next to it. Thank you.
Today we decided to do a fall picnic, so we packed up our tent and headed to the market to grab a few items to put together a mini charcuterie board. We wanted our board to be a little sweet and a little savory, so we got some jams and some gourmet chocolate, fresh honeycomb, some meats, some cheeses, an assortment of crackers, and we even got some of the infamous Fall Harvest Blend tea from Trader Joe's. Thankfully, it turned out to be a really gorgeous day weather-wise, because just a few days prior, we had a nor'easter.
It's crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright.
This day, however, I couldn't vlog the way I really intended to because it was just so windy out, and unfortunately, I had actually lost a lot of the audio.
Even in the hard times, you and I can weather any storm. Before I sleep, hear the crickets, see the moon. Side by side and through, no limit to what we can do. Oh, we know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy.
After our picnic, we grabbed our hot tea and went for a walk down the river, and people watched until my battery died, and that was pretty much it. Until we got back to the car, where I tried to vlog on my phone a little bit, but by then we were just so tired.
We don't need no more. Even in the hard times, you and I can weather any storm.
Hey y'all, we back in the car. My camera cut off. Sorry. We are tired. Our feet hurt. We're ready to go. Yep, we had a nice little day. It was fun. Now we're just ready to wrap it up. If y'all don't have one of these little, these little bag hooks in your car, you need to get on that. They come in handy. So you just put it right on your headrest and then you can hang your bag on the seat. I got these on Amazon. Fun times. Okay, bye.
I am baptized, I am alive again. Give me new life, take me to heaven. When it feels right, that's that ascension. Never go back to when. Before you forgot my worth, your love for me feels like a rebirth. I don't wanna lose this high, wouldn't wanna lose this high. I just wanna make me yours, I just wanna make you mine. Before you forgot my worth, your love for me feels like a rebirth. I don't wanna lose this high, wouldn't wanna lose this high. I just wanna make me yours, I just wanna make you mine.
So, I am a woman of luxury. I love the finer things in life. I have always been this way. It's a part of who I am at my core. I've always had expensive tastes, even though I've never really had the kind of money that allows me to fully express myself that way. And I personally feel like just because I'm not wealthy yet, anyway, because who knows what life has in store for me, it doesn't mean that I can't indulge and spoil and pamper myself from where I am now. I was recently listening to someone online speak about staying ready so you don't have to get ready. And she was saying, if the opportunity of a lifetime were to pop up for you, and she's mainly referring to the women in her audience who make content online, or who want to make certain moves within the, let's say, music or modeling or entertainment industry. And she was basically asking them if they were ready. If a huge opportunity popped up for them, were they ready? It was kind of along the lines of like, if you were to get a huge sponsorship or brand deal or something like that, and these people they contacted you and they wanted to, let's say, fly you out to do some work for them, were you ready? And she was pretty much telling them, like, okay, if you're in these niches, if you're in these lines of work, always make sure that like your hair and nails are done, and like your body's on point, and that you're staying on your healthy journey to make sure that your body's in shape, and make sure you're working out and you're going to the gym and stuff like that. But she was suggesting a lot of high-end treatments and maintenance for the girls. And so when I scrolled to her comment section, it was kind of like the girls were in a bit of a tizzy because, I feel like it was kind of triggering for them, because many of them felt like they were not in a position to do these things the way they really wanted to, or the way that she was suggesting that they have them done. Right. So she was naming a lot of luxurious things and a lot of luxury treatments. These things, like when you go to the spa and whatnot, or when you go to these salons, they're expensive. They cost a lot of money. And so the girls were pretty much in her comment section saying, okay, yeah, we get all of that. And we get, stay ready so you don't have to get ready. But then they were like, well, who is going to fund the bill at the spa? And like,
getting the hair done and getting the nails done and, you know, getting the waxing done and all this stuff in the facial, because she also recommended like getting facials done to make sure that their skin is on point, you know. And so I was thinking to myself, when did we get to a point where we feel like the only option for us to keep ourselves up or to look good and feel good is if these things are done in an expensive setting, or like if we go and spend a ton of money on these things for someone to do it professionally? I think we've kind of missed the plot, and I feel like social media has a lot to play in that department. I just feel like social media has the girls feeling like, you know what I mean? Feeling like if you are not going to get your nails, like if somebody else is not doing your nails, if you're not going to like a really aesthetic salon and get your nails done and your hair done and get a waxing and get your eyebrows tinted and laminated and, you know, all of these things I feel like are fine. They're great if you have the funds to live that way, right? There's nothing wrong with that. If I had it, I would do it, you know what I mean? Because it's easier, it's simpler, more convenient to just have someone that can do these things for you. You can just go sit back and let somebody else do it, right? But if you're like me, and let's say you have financial goals and business plans and stuff like that, and you got to be a little bit more, you know, strict with your money and smart with your money, why can't we do these things ourselves? Why do we have to now splurge and put ourselves out in order to look good or feel worthy? I feel like social media has gotten to a point where, you know, we see a lot of luxury online, and, you know, it's from the vlogs, it's from the UGC content, it's from the, you know, it's just, you know, fashion content, it's all over. And I feel like it leaves a lot of everyday people feeling like, if they don't have access to these things, if they're not living this way, if they're not spending this kind of money, if they don't have the designer bags and the designer clothes and the designer shoes, if they don't have a home that is like aesthetically pleasing and everything's white and and they're not driving a certain kind of car and they have a white refrigerator and brown kitchen cabinets, that you are just completely and utterly failing at life. And I feel like it needs to stop. Like, it gets to a point, seriously. We have to find a way to come back to reality, ground ourselves, take a breather, use common sense and logic, understand your situation, your personal situation where you are, stop comparing it to someone else's situation, and do what works for you. You're not exempt. None of us are exempt from feeling good and looking good and living in a nice kind of way. We just have to do it within our own means. We have to get back to getting back to YouTube University and learning how to DIY some of this stuff for real, because you know, the cost of living is going up, and I kind of feel like when you're comparing the statistics of most US citizens' finances against what you're seeing on social media, the math ain't mathin', honey. It's not. So most people are not living in luxury. Most people do not have fancy homes. Most people are living basic, ordinary lives, and then watching things on social media, getting influence, and being influenced is not always a bad thing. I feel like when we see this type of content online, we have to remember that for the most part, it is aspirational content, right? It can inspire you to move yourself towards those things if that's the type of life that you want to live. And if those are the type of finances that you want to have, this content can be aspirational. But if you're trying to put the cart before the horse and find a way to have luxury items and live a luxury lifestyle before your finances can support that, you're, you know, like, come on.
So we have to get back to DIY. We have to get back to YouTube University and pulling up videos and stuff like that to find out like, okay, well, I can't do it that way, but I can figure out how to do it on my own. I can figure out how to do it for myself, and I can sit my behind down at home and do my nails and give myself a pedicure and a manicure, and I can learn how to do that hairstyle. I can learn how to take care of my hair. I can learn how to, treat my skin, do whatever, until I get my finances to a space and place where I can afford to pay someone else to do these things for me in nice spaces, right? Same thing goes for our homes. Like, we may not live in the most desirable neighborhood. You may live in the hood. You may live in an apartment. You may be in a room right now, just renting one little room. Wherever you are, we have to remember to stay grounded and just step by step move towards what it is that we desire for ourselves, and not allow ourselves and allow social media to make us feel like we're less than, because we don't live like what we're seeing online. Okay, because like I said, the U.S. statistics for finances shows that a lot of people don't even have an emergency fund set aside that can hold them out for 3 months, for at least 3 months. Most people don't have a decent amount of savings set aside. People are complaining about the price of eggs and stuff like that. So remember to bring yourself back down to reality. When watching this type of content, or maybe watch a little less of it, you know what I mean? Or find content from people who are kind of where you are and maybe are working their way towards that, just to keep you grounded and keep you a little more, I just feel like it's better for our mental health, you know what I mean? And our emotional health. So yeah, it kind of reminds me of when you were little, when you were younger, and you're out with your mom and dad, and and you want to get like McDonald's or something, and they're like, no, we have McDonald's back at the house. You know what I mean? Like, no, we got food at the house. Well, I kind of feel the same way about this. Like, baby, we got high maintenance back at the house. Like, let's stay level-headed. And we also have to remember that some of the people that we watch online who appear to be doing well sometimes are not doing as great as they are letting on. You just gotta, in that case, you gotta wish people healing, and just be compassionate about everyone's situation, and hope that everybody can get to a place where they are afforded at least the basics and the bare necessities of life to live like a decent human existence. People should not be wanting for food and clean water and proper housing and clothes on their back, that kind of thing. So we just want to make sure that we stay mindful of that. But we do have to remember to get back to things like to know that it's okay to be that one who's getting your stuff from Amazon, from TJ Maxx, from Marshalls, from the thrift store, from the dollar store. Like, I mean, if you're really good at putting pieces together and just kind of like finding the right items and putting it together nicely and learning how to do these things yourself, who gonna know? Like, honestly, like, who's really gonna know? You know what I mean? Who's gonna look at you and be like, ooh, you know what I mean? That's not Louis Vuitton, and you didn't get that from like. And if you do come across someone who is like that, I don't think that's really somebody who you would want to associate yourself with and will be friends with in the first place. So there's that. And I am also all for manifestation and the law of attraction and positive thinking and being Delulu and all of that good stuff. But I just feel like there needs to be a balance between the spiritual and the material.
And we need to combine the woo-woo with the worldly and, kind of co-create on the material plane by using inspired action and common sense. And we have to work in tandem with the energy or God or source or universe or however you prefer to refer to it. So while we are calling more money and greater financial leverage into our lives, we are also being great stewards of our current finances and being appreciative and grateful for what we have now and where we are now. And as more money and opportunities begin to flow in for us, we are more likely to be responsible with it and better equipped to actually multiply it. Something I've been trying to be more intentional about is moving with nature's timeline whenever I can. So when the moon is waning, emptying out her light in the process of becoming new again, I like to do the same. For me, the waning to new moon phase is a time for clearing and releasing in many different ways and within any area of life. As you can see, today I'm carving out some time for a well-needed self-care reset. I'm doing a pedicure, manicure, V-steam, facial, all that good stuff. A new moon self-care or beauty reset is a great way, I feel, for a woman to kind of pull away from everyone else in the world for just a moment and really take care of herself. It's taking a moment to kind of energetically exhale, if you will. Think about how your energy or mood feels when your hair is freshly washed and done, when your nails are done, you've had a facial, or maybe you've done an exfoliating scrub in the shower. It's like an exhale. You feel lighter. You've literally just shed old skin cells, dead hair, and even dead ends. You feel brand new. And you also feel a bit more confident, right? You feel more open and accepting of any opportunity that may pop up. Invitations, date nights, meet up with friends because you look and feel good. Imagine if you were only able to inhale. You could only gasp in air but couldn't exhale it. Try it. Keep inhaling, without exhaling. Yeah, this is the beautiful message and guidance nature gives us during the waning to new moon, or even seasons like the fall and winter, and even the nighttime. It's a natural symbol and reminder for us to release, let go, retire, and rest. This is called balance. In the West, we live in a culture of do, grind, and be productive. And a woman is often praised when she is always giving, sacrificing, and martyring herself for either her man, her children, her career, family, friends. But the minute she says no and turns her energy and her focus inward towards herself, that's not praised nearly as much, is it? In fact, she could be labeled selfish or even lazy.
I don't think women realize how much energy they expend on a day-to-day basis. First of all, our bodies are constantly shifting and changing. Stress and anxiety, hard labor, taxing jobs, your menstrual cycle, motherhood, marital obligations, all of these factors can cause stress, which in turn can cause irregular fluctuations in our hormonal system. Then we have the life changes like perimenopause and menopause. I mean, we women seldom get a break when coming to our bodies. I once heard someone say that a woman's power is great and she is the closest thing to the Creator because everyone has to come through and to her. Example, let's take a mother and her household, okay? She is the source. Everyone under that roof has been inside her body at some point. Everyone has had to tap her life force at some point. From the children to the man, all of them have been inside her body. I can see why this generation of girls and young women say, they want the soft life. They are opting out of motherhood and marriage. Honey, the girls say they don't want it. You can keep it. Let the men do the hard labor. They're not doing no 50-50. They said they want to be child-free, man-free, stress-free, and they want to keep their pH balance balanced, okay? Because the men's ain't acting right. I just think whatever any woman decides to do, what she chooses to do for her life, how she chooses to live her life, it is important to remember that we have to put ourselves first. We have to get out of this mindset of sacrificing ourselves in this kind of way, because a lot of times when we operate that way, all it does is make you sick and tired, and it also teaches the people around you that you are a machine and that you can continue to just keep going like this. No one feels like they need to check in on you or assist you or help you with anything or support you with anything because they see that you've got it. And it's human nature to, I think kind of like not want to do the work yourself. And if somebody's in their vicinity that looks like they'll do all the work and they can get off easy, people are going to do it. They're going to do it. So we have to learn to put ourselves first. And I am not religious, but I do feel that self-care is a form of honoring your divinity. Taking a cue from nature and pulling away to take care of, nurture, and soothe yourself is a form of self-respect. It's a form of self-honor. And I also like to remember the many women who came before me, whether it be in my own bloodline or just Black women in general, honestly. Our ancestors, who just didn't get to bask in their femininity because of the times they lived in. They weren't seen as women. They weren't seen as soft. They weren't seen as feminine. And they sure as hell weren't seen as divine. And so their lives were full of struggle, and they never sat at a vanity and loved on themselves and had access to the kinds of luxuries and conveniences that we as their descendants have access to today. So, we got to give thanks to them and how they've paved the way for us and the sacrifices that they made for us. And may they rest in eternal peace, and may they have a softer time on the other side. And May we continue to take pride in ourselves and in our appearance, and continue to carry ourselves in cleanliness and dignity and grace and elegance and style and flair the way that we usually do, the way that we're known to do. And this too is something that I've been working on, just, to step up how I am when I leave the house. What message am I sending? What's my personal brand? And that doesn't mean like being decked out every time I leave the house, but just making sure that I'm not looking like I completely just rolled out of bed. The waning to new moon phase is not only a time for a self-care reset, but also a home reset, a relationship reset, a life reset. We can take this phase of the moon as an opportunity to deep clean our car, deep clean our house. Our homes are a reflection of us. And so we can take a deep dive into those closets and kitchen cupboards and go through the refrigerator and clear out old expired foods and freezer burned foods, and go through the junk drawers, clean the windowsills and wash the windows and the walls, hit the floors, the baseboards, purge old makeup, shoes, handbags, clothes. Do a lot of our clothes still have the tags on them? Are we overspending? Or maybe we haven't committed to our body goals of one day being able to fit back into that outfit. In the process of deep cleaning our homes can reveal so much about us. This is also a great time to do a cleanse, a fast, or a detox to reset the body, or maybe even get some much needed rest. It's also a good time for emotional purges and release. Like whatever's on our hearts and minds, it may benefit us to maybe journal it out, get it out and down on paper. Forming our thoughts and feelings down on paper can help us to organize those thoughts and feelings and gain clarity and possibly a new perspective or even closure on them. It may be time to release that relationship, whether it be romantic or familial. Release anything and anyone that is not in alignment with what you see as your highest self and your best life. If you're not certain whether you should release someone or something, you can get a sheet of paper and make like 4 columns. Put your name on one side, put the other person's name or the other thing on the other side, and just start to make out a list on either side of the ways in which you benefit that relationship and the ways in which you feel that you hinder the relationship. And then on the other side, you write out the ways in which that other person benefits the relationship and the ways in which they hinder things or disrupt things. And then weigh out the both sides. If that other person or that other thing, their hindrances or their disruptions outweigh the benefits that they bring, it may be time to release it, or at the very least maybe sit down and have a talk with that person and see if you can come to some kind of compromise and maybe work together on some things to change the situation. Or maybe it's just best to just cut your losses and make a clean cut, make a clean slate. If that other person is, if your relationship with that other person is more life draining than it is life enhancing, it's time to let it go.
New love, can we get high? New love, no drugs. I'm ready to fly, no drugs. Pull up, if I'm on your mind, pull up above. When you come inside in us, I am baptized, I am alive again. Give me new life, take me to heaven. When it feels right, that's that ascension. Never go back to when we before you forgot my worth. Your love for me feels like a rebirth. I don't wanna lose this high, wouldn't wanna lose this high. I just wanna make me yours, I just wanna make you mine. Before you forgot my worth. Your love for me feels like a rebirth. I don't wanna lose this high, wouldn't wanna lose this high. I just wanna make me yours, I just wanna make you mine.
So at the very least, we can use the phases of the moon or cycles and seasons of nature as a reminder or a marker to check in and take account of what is going on within the inner workings of our lives. Regular internal check-ins help to keep our lives more stable and balanced. Otherwise, we can become energetic hoarders in a sense, within our hearts and our homes. As a woman, you have a right to take up authority over your own life and end what needs to end, cut off what needs to be cut off, let go of what needs to be let go of, and retreat and take a break when you need to take a break. You don't need to wait for any phase of the moon to do this, honestly, right? Especially if the particular thing you're wanting to release is very toxic and stressful to your life and your well-being. When we cleanse, release, and renew, we are physically and energetically clearing out the old and making room and preparing a sacred space for a new chapter and new blessings to enter our lives. So I personally feel like I'm entering a new chapter of my life. I'm treating myself as a priority, more so, and keeping my promises to myself, doing things that help me to have a better relationship with myself and my body. Slowly but surely creating a new lifestyle for myself, leveling up and glowing up, building new daily habits and routines, getting back to what I consider to be a divine feminine lifestyle, the kind of lifestyle that I used to live some years ago that just, I don't know, I just felt so much better living in that way, doing my energy work and that kind of thing. And getting into alignment with the best version of myself and sharing that journey with others. When I had finished my self-care session, I had picked a oracle card for myself and for any of the women watching this video from this oracle deck that I have called The Faces of Oshun. It's by Abiola Abrams. I think she has a channel here on YouTube, and you can find her oracle decks on Amazon. But I picked a card just for like a little message, a little positive message, and you will not believe the card that came out. It is the card Oshun of Resurrection. It's the card of rebirth, transformation, and renewal, which is exactly what the new moon represents. And if you look closely, you will see that the card actually depicts little moon cycles on them, and not all the cards have that. So I just thought that was so fitting. I giggled when it came out. Like, I shuffled the deck and I specifically asked for a message for myself and for, you know, any of the women watching, and what everyone needed to hear right now. And this is the card that flipped out of the deck. So what I'm going to do is read the message from the guidebook for everyone, and just know that if you've made it this far down in the video, that this message is for you. Okay. It says, Oshun of Resurrection, rebirth, transformation, renewal. I rise, renewed, and release what no longer serves me. And this is exactly what I was talking about. This card also symbolizes the initiation of gold. And remember, I just got finished talking about divine feminine alchemy and how I see it as a woman turning her life from lead to gold. So this card coming out was just like the cherry on top. But it says, did you think your story was over? Think again. With the Oshun of Resurrection at your side, you've been granted a rare second or even third chance. This is not just a new beginning, this is a resurrection. An opportunity to revive dreams you thought were lost and to return stronger from setbacks. Life is a cycle of endless opportunities, and you're being offered a unique chance to redo, rethink, and renew. Take this moment to shed your old self and rise anew, like a phoenix resurrected from the ashes of your past failures and disappointments. The divine still has plans for you, and this goddess reassures you that it's never too late to change course. Tap into her courage and seize your chance to start over. Your past is not your destiny. You can begin a new adventure every single day. Write down what you wish to release and what you wish to invite into your life on separate pieces of paper. Safely burn the paper containing what you want to release, imagining those issues turning to ash. Plant the paper with your new intentions into a pot of soil as a rebirth symbol of the new life you are nurturing.
I don't wanna lose this high, wouldn't wanna lose this high. I just wanna make me yours, I just wanna make you mine. You forgot my worth, your for me feels like a rebirth. I don't wanna lose this high, wouldn't wanna lose this high. I just wanna make me yours, I just wanna make you mine.